Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the thiamine, the vitamin B1, how to reduce the obesity, and what is the significance of the thiamine. So basically, thiamine is known as the vitamin B1. That vitamin B1 is the water soluble vitamin, so it requires regularly. So the vitamin B1 also present in the green vegetable, in the meat, chicken, and egg. So a lot of foods like a dry fruit, nut, and on the other hand, basically the green vegetable contain a thiamine. So the thiamine basically is the vitamin B1 important for reduce the obesity. How it is possible? Let's understand about that. So remember, our body in the form of obesity so store the fat. That fat is stored in the form of white adipose tissue. The white adipose tissue white adipose tissue contain less mitochondria, and white adipose tissue contain a adipocyte. That adipocyte proliferation will lead to increase the obesity when store that fat due to the insulin resistance and the insulin spike. So spike of the insulin when our eating, so the spike of the insulin will lead to lipogenesis, and in this, so the lipids will in the form of triacylglycerol deposit in the fat, deposit in the adipose tissue, in the adipocyte. So in this way, the vitamin B1 which that trigger it whenever you will go into the gym and exercise. So increase the exercise will lead to reduce the adipose tissue. But remember that things, the vitamin B1 will enter into the cell, into the adipose tissue, or on the other hand other cell, but in the adipose tissue that fat will be degraded during the exercise, and that produce the free fatty acid and the glycerol. But in this way, this is the separate things, and the free fatty acid, the beta oxidation produce more heat in the mitochondria. So in this way, the white adipose tissue contain less mitochondria as compared to the BG adipose tissue. The BG adipose tissue contain more mitochondria, but the brown adipose tissue contain more and more mitochondria as compared to the white and BG adipose tissue. So how to transform the white adipose tissue to the brown adipose tissue? Require exercise, and this exercise which that will lead to increase the brown adipose tissue after the increasing of the mitochondria in the brown adipose tissue. So the vitamin B1 is important vitamin which that whenever we enter through a transporter channel into the cell, and it will activate the certain gene which that is important for the production of the UCP1. This UCP1 is known as the uncoupling protein 1, which that bind with the inner mitochondrial membrane, lead to thermogenesis whenever the breakdown of the glucose and pyruvate and the Krebs cycle, the NADH will use electron transport chain will not produce the ATP because the proton gradient which that is used for the UCP to produce heat rather than the production of ATP. And in this way, whenever the thiamine when you will take, so during the cold weather you will feel more hot, and your body will thermogenically produce the heat from the UCP. So this is the thermogenesis, enhance the thermogenesis due to the beta oxidation will increase, and on the other hand the consumption of the glucose for production of more heat. In this way, your adipose tissue will not build up due to the brown adipose tissue increase due to the mitochondria increase, because the biogenesis of the mitochondria even also triggered via a vitamin B1. The vitamin B1 increase the ATP, increase the NADH, and increase the mitochondria. Whenever the increase of the mitochondria, it means the powerhouse of the cell will increase, and in this way, consumption of the glucose, consumption of the fatty acid will increase. In this way, the production of heat will increase. In this way, the vitamin B1 is very important for the weight loss. How? Because the heat is the energy which that's come from the fat and come from the other like glucose, carbohydrate. So whenever you will intake carbohydrate or glycogenolysis or lipolysis to produce heat, whenever you will use the vitamin B1. The vitamin B1 is very important also the antioxidant which that reduce the free radical. The vitamin B1 is the major source for the deficiency of the adipose tissue, white adipose tissue, whenever you will work out with the vitamin B1. So in this way, the brown adipose tissue increase, which that is very healthy to provide more ATP as well as more heat. In this way, during the cold weather, you will survive easily through vitamin B1. Even on the other hand, you can produce more heat. In this way, the burning of the calorie will increase. While during the white adipose tissue will basically lead to cause low degree inflammation. In this way, cause aging, obesity, and the obesity is the central part of the disease due to the chronic inflammation and the low degree inflammation in the adipose tissue, which that will lead to basically deposit the toxin in the adipose tissue, which that will lead to cause inflammation, and that inflammation will lead to cause aging, and the chronic inflammation will lead to cause autoimmune disorder. On the other hand, the other type of inflammatory disease like the arthritis, and on the other rheumatoid arthritis, myasthenia gravis, and a lot of the inflammatory disease like Parkinson disease and other type of disease due to the deposition of fat. I hope you make sense about that. That vitamin B1 is very important, and consume the vitamin B1 in the form of supplement or in the form of the green vegetables and the meat product and egg. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video for this time. Bye. Allah Hafiz.